Welcome back to Rekt Radio, your port in the digital storm. I'm Sunny, and I feel fantastic. The rocket has cleared the tower, it has broken atmosphere, and we are now cruising in the beautiful silence of open space, watching the world get smaller behind us. The Bitcoin price is holding strong, the bears are in hibernation, and the future has never looked greener.
And I'm Cole, your onboard engineer, telling you that all those pretty green lights on the dashboard are actually warning signals. We're not cruising, we're accelerating uncontrollably into a debris field, and the silence you're hearing is the eerie calm before the system explodes. Enjoy it while it lasts.
An explosion of prosperity, maybe. Cole, you have to look at the macro picture. This isn't just a random pump. This is the Great Rotation. The US dollar index, the DXY, is breaking down. It's losing its footing on the world stage, and capital is doing what it always does. It's fleeing a weak asset and searching for a strong one. It's a flight to quality, a flight to scarcity, a flight to Bitcoin. This is the moment we've been talking about for years.
Wait, let me jump in here. You call it a great rotation, I call it a global panic attack. Capital isn't calmly and rationally choosing the best asset, it's scrambling for any door with an exit sign on it. This isn't a vote of confidence in Bitcoin, it's a vote of no confidence in everything else. And that's a much more dangerous situation. This rally isn't built on faith in crypto, it's built on fear of the entire legacy system collapsing. Fear is not a stable foundation, Sonny.
It is when the fear is justified, and the result is the same. Central banks are trapped in what they're calling a policy trilemma. They can't control everything at once, and in their desperation, they're just revealing how powerless they are against a truly decentralized network. It's a paradigm shift, and the biggest players in the world are placing their bets accordingly. Forget the noise and look at the real signal. The US Bitcoin ETFs have just crossed $50 billion in assets. $50 billion in just 18 months. That's not panic, Cole. That is a coordinated, strategic, long-term allocation from the deepest pools of capital on Earth.
Oh, hang on a second, Sonny. You see a big number and get stars in your eyes. I see a room full of new players who are about to get fleeced by the veterans. You want to talk about strategic allocations? Let's talk about the government of Bhutan. They just moved nearly $24 million worth of Bitcoin to a Binance account. They've done this before, and it looks an awful lot like they are timing the market. While your Wall Street heroes are buying in, an entire country is taking profits. They're selling into the rally, not holding for the glorious future you keep painting.
That's just prudent portfolio management from a small country. It has no bearing on the tidal wave of institutional money coming in from the US and elsewhere. Look at Japan. A firm called Remix Point just raised over $200 million, and they're using it to buy 3,000 Bitcoin. The demand is global, it's corporate, it's institutional. They see the writing on the wall.
They see the price going up and they are chasing it, which is the definition of FOMO. Buying at the all-time high is not a strategy. It's a symptom of late-stage bull market mania. You're celebrating the very behavior that signals a top is near. These are not the actions of sober long-term visionaries. They're the actions of people terrified of missing out on the final leg of a speculative frenzy.
You call it frenzy, I call it a supply shock, and the market internals back me up. The average funding rate for Bitcoin has been dropping, which is incredibly bullish. It means this rally isn't being driven by a bunch of degenerate gamblers on leverage. It's being driven by spot buying. There's a massive sell-side liquidity squeeze happening because guess what? Nobody wants to sell their Bitcoin at these prices. The supply on exchanges is drying up, and that's why the price has nowhere to go but up.
But Cole, you're missing the point. The supply isn't drying up because everyone magically decided to become a true believer. It's drying up because the whales have swallowed it all and are now in control. And while you're looking at funding rates, you're missing the terrifying signal that just flashed. An old dormant wallet containing 80,000 Bitcoin just woke up. Let me put that in perspective for you. That's one person or a small group who has been sitting on a fortune since the early days, and they just decided that now, at the peak of this media hype, with your ETFs and Japanese FOMO buyers rushing in, is the perfect time to move their coins. They are not waking up to buy more, Sonny. They are waking up to cash out. They are the exit liquidity.
That is pure speculation. An old wallet moving could mean anything. They could be moving it to a more secure custody solution. They could be preparing to use it as collateral to build something new. You automatically assume the worst-case scenario. It's a sign of life. It's activity. That's what a living, breathing ecosystem looks like.
Exactly. And another thing, while we're talking about the health of the ecosystem, how about we talk about the companies that are supposed to be the user-friendly on-ramps? Bitcoin Depot, one of the biggest Bitcoin ATM operators out there, just admitted to a massive data breach. The private information of over 27,000 customers was compromised. So while you're fantasizing about a perfect institutional future, regular people trying to get into the space are getting their data leaked by the very companies that are supposed to serve them. This is the reality on the ground, Sonny, not the hopium on the charts.
Every growing industry has challenges. Breaches happen in traditional finance all the time. It's a sign of the immense target on crypto's back, which only proves how valuable it is. The industry learns, adapts, and gets stronger. All of this is just background noise. The main signal is clear. The dollar is weakening, institutions are pouring in, and there's simply not enough Bitcoin to go around. This isn't the top. This is the base camp for the climb to $150,000.
And my message is to look at who is actually sailing the ships. The old whales are on deck, the governments are taking profits, and the retail users are getting their data scraped. Don't be fooled by the fireworks. It's a beautiful distraction. You've been listening to Rekt Radio.